All right, welcome in once again, Lings and Queens. IG Cup number 7 is what's going on tonight. I'm EC, that's Red Mage JR, and this is, of course, it's Gosu.com bringing you IG Cup action, our 7th one in the series. $130 on the line tonight. Red Mage, you excited, my friend?
How could I not be with this lineup of awesome competitors today? I was giddy all day with excitement, waiting for the 6 o'clock time frame to come around. It is unbelievable. Everything that we've seen over the last couple of days is nothing in comparison to what we're going to see tonight.
Oh, yeah, such an amazing, amazing lineup. We've got representatives from Complexity Gaming, Revoke Gaming, Gosu Gamers, NRG as well. Just so much talent in the pool. Really going to be vying it out for that $130 grand prize. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Cannot wait. So this is going to be IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, bringing you Bob versus the Rubber Duckies, the real-time bath time battle simulator. More info on that forthcoming right around the time of V3. That's going to be just in a couple weeks, actually, so keep your eye out for that. Cyberground.us, your LAN center of choice for all your nerdly needs, and LAN center of choice for all IG staff and IG events. We're going to be down at Cyberground doing 2 weekends in a row, going to be doing 2 live events. Lucky Fools Tournament going to be coming up next weekend. Red Mage and I will be there for that. Then, of course, the first IG live event going to be the next weekend afterwards. So make sure you come out and say hi to Red Mage and I right around that time as well. Then, of course, Max Integration, your IT technical company of choice and source for all your IT solutions. Check them out online. They work with you in real time, on your time, to help you take that web or IT project to the next level. So, looks like we're still waiting on the guy we just talked about, actually. NRG Lucky Fool going to be showcasing our first match here against SC Airmac. And going to be fun times. Little PVT action opening up in this round of 32 on Shakura's Plateau.
Oh yeah, this is going to be just a tremendous event. You know, knowing since Lucky Fool is a huge friend of its Gosu's. You know, we've watched him play countless times. He is such a magnificent Terran player, and really to open up the event with a TVP at this caliber, I'm not overly familiar with SC Ermac, but everything that I've seen from his from looking at his profile and everything like that, he looks like a competitor, and this might turn into a real slugfest. This might actually go all 3 games in this best of 3 series here.
Oh yeah, Lucky Fool, for if you know his style at all. He loves to get in your mouth and hits you real quick, and then loves to sit back and macro and just build on that advantage he secures early. So gonna be an action-packed game without a doubt, especially in the early stages in the early game. Not sure how SC Airmac's going to play or what his modus operandi happens to be, but as soon as we get Lucky Fool in and ready to go with the ready check, we're going to find out for sure. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and pop up our 2011 Spring Tournament Series calendar. Just take a look from April to June. That's our Spring Tournament Series, 20 events a month, $1,500 in cash and prizes being given out just from now until the end of June. Then we're starting right back over again in the spring, and that's not even counting the prize pools for our live events. So it doesn't matter what level of player you are, bronze, gold, platinum, master, grandmaster, silver, doesn't matter. We've got something for you. Our beta divisionals for our bronze and silver leaguers. Our alpha divisional is going to be for our gold, platinum leaguers, and omega divisionals for diamond and on up. So make sure you check that out. And, of course, our Gosu Cups and all of our other special events, and King of the Hill events, too. Doesn't matter what level you happen to be. The King of the Hill is always going to be open to players of all calibers, so check those out each and every Sunday. So still waiting on Lucky Fool. Hopefully he's going to jump in here soon. He told us he needed about 5 minutes, but didn't want to delay the stream too terribly much longer. But hopefully he'll be joining us real soon here, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, that's awful considerate of him. You know, he just needed a couple of minutes just to take care of something real quick in real life there. So we'll give it a couple seconds. And Ermac was pretty cool with it. I guess that gives him a perfect opportunity to go and warm up his fingers a little bit. Do some stretching exercises, get himself a soda, get all cranked up on some Coca-Cola or Red Bull. All kinds of really great stuff. So, guys, don't forget that, next week we're going to be showing you guys some new sponsors that we just picked up. So that's going to be even more exciting. We're going to have, I believe it's Sunday is when we're going to, either tomorrow or Monday. For our live cast, we'll be showing off our brand new sponsors that we just picked up, and that's going to be really exciting. A lot of really cool things we're going to start doing, and we hope that everyone's going to enjoy it as much as we have from our end. I think that's going to be pretty cool. And last night, AC, I happened to hear you on the All for One Invitational. How was that last night?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, man. To call it fun is to really understate it. Got to cast the semifinals of the All for One Invitational. I got to see some amazing players. I got to see 2 members of Slayers, actually, a couple of guys who I'm sure everyone's familiar with from the GSL. Got to cast Slayers MMA taking on Slayers Lots, and MMA just so amazing. He would eventually go on to win the entire thing, but a guy that we know pretty well actually was in the other semifinal matchup. That was VT Spades, and he was taking on Killer of Dignitas. And Killer lived up to his name, 3-0ing Spades, and but running into a little bit of a roadblock in the finals, I should say, against MMA. MMA kind of just taking control early, winning that best of 5, 3-1. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm actually going to be bouncing back and casting with the All for One Invitational number 3, I believe is the number they're on. So you can go to Team Liquid and just type in one invitational. On your in the search bar or whatever, you'll find all the details about that. But the quality and caliber of players are just so amazing, and it was a real pleasure to work with them. But then again, that's not to sleep on our field. Our field is always rife with the same kind of quality.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, tonight we got players from we got VT Avilo, another great guy. We've seen him plenty of.
All right, Red Mage, sounds like your mic cut out, something like that. Not sure what the cause of that happens to be. Hopefully you can get that sorted out. But yes, as he was saying, VT Avilo going to be just one of the many amazing players we're going to have with us this evening. On top of just a truly action-packed field. GG Last Shadow, a guy who competes in a lot of our events, going to be here. And just tons and tons more. In fact, I'll go ahead and pop up the bracket here. So yeah, Complexity RSVP's here. FXA Surfing, not even sure who that is. VT Avilo. Rebley, a guy that we're very familiar with who competes in a lot of our Omega divisionals. Major of Six Jacks is here. Revolution from Team Revoki, a guy that we're real good friends with. TQ Sanis from Think Quick Gaming. Rev Shadow, on down the line. Just so many good players, and can't wait to jump into our game here. So Red Mage, you get your audio issue sorted out there, my friend? No, doesn't seem like he has. Either way, we're going to work on that. Looks like we do have Lucky Fool joining the game right now, but going to figure out exactly what's up with Red Mage's mic here. He just kind of cut out all of a sudden. Yeah, well, while he tries to sort that out, if you're enjoying the tunes you're hearing underneath, check him out. This is Ronald Jinkies. You can check him out at ronaldjinkies.com. Then MySpace.com. There, I hear some snapping. Is that you, Red Mage?
That's me. Yeah, there we go.
Not sure what happened there, buddy. No worries. Just glad to have you back. But check out Indigo League at MySpace.com/Indigo League and Halo Topic at HaloTopic.Newgrounds. Halo Topic was the music you heard opening up things here tonight. So, looks like Lucky Fool's ready to go. Are we ready to roll, my friend?
I believe we're ready to roll. Going to get the ready check right here from our two players here, and we'll be ready to rock and roll here on Shakuras Plateau.
So Lucky Fool, a guy that, we happen to know pretty well. There's a lot of events at Cybergrounds, and just an amazing Terran player, a guy who really showcases what it's like to use Terran in a non-bio ball way, so to speak. Not to say he won't throw a little bio ball action once in a while, but primarily a guy who really tries to get creative with Hellions, with Banshees, and that sort of play. And, a map like Shakuras Plateau really is conducive to that sort of play anyway. So zooming in, we've got SC Airmac, our challenger, up at the top left corner in the blue, and NRG Lucky Fool over in the right, spawning in his trademark yellow. So going to have both players spawning at the top, so going to be relatively close air positions. And given the fact that Lucky Fool has shown time and time again how much he prefers or is at least fond of Banshees in the early game, wouldn't surprise me a bit to see a little starport action early on.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. And the other big thing that Lucky likes to feature is that early harassment. Lots of drops, lots of multiple attacks at the same time. He's very skilled at those kind of things, which is probably exactly why he just got picked up by Team NRG, because he has just been a tremendous player over the past couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what SC Airmac is gonna do to combat someone like Lucky Fool here.
Oh yeah, Lucky Fool, he does have a bit of a Korean flavor to his play. He tends to rely on the harass, not overly, but he relies on the harass really just to get little advantages that he then takes and turns into big advantages as he stays safe back at home using Banshees. A lot of Hellions are what we tend to see out of out of Lucky Fool as well. So standard stuff going on right now. Nothing new to report. Just going to get the scouts out, get the gateway / and the barracks down, of course, from both of these players. So this is, again, the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and Lucky Fool and SC Airmac duking it out here in our first live casted event of the evening, a best of 3 series beginning here on Shakura's Plateau.
Oh yeah, absolutely amazing field tonight, guys. Don't forget to go to itsgosu.com and see all the lineup of all the players that we had tonight. You can also see the brackets to see how everybody is going or doing so far in the lineup here. A huge field today. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Up for a pretty good prize pack. Really today for all of our competitors here. And, watching everything that we see going on, we've got lots and lots of nothingness really to report at this point. But
that's the early game, man.
It's the early game, and it's just one of those things. And it's funny because I was talking to Lucky before the MLG Dallas. Before I believe we went down to MLG Dallas.
Right.
And we were chit-chatting, and he's like, if I could just stop getting supply block and really stop messing up with misclicks and stuff, he'd probably be a lot faster. So I wonder. I'm kind of watching his camera a little bit just to see if he's perfected that, because he said that's always been his number one flaw, is he misclicks a lot and he gets supply blocked a lot. So hopefully
just the basic fundamentals. It's like anything else, man. If you get the fundamentals down, you can go to that next level. Speaking of going to the next level, we're going to see the second command center down on the second tier expansion, this natural expansion, right down on that low ground of Lucky Fool. So and likewise another fast expansion on SC Airmax. So both players showing that they're in no hurry to do any sort of aggression early on. They just want to get secure and try and start off this best of 3 series with a very, very laid back sort of macro game.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it looks like they're going to go into. Now what would you favor in you're a reformed Protoss player. You've actually seen the light move to Terran, but
right.
As a reformed Protoss player, what would you recommend?
I would actually
kind of
do exactly what Lucky Fool's doing. This is the build I use so often on the ladder. I've won 90% of my TVPs lately on the ladder, so and that's out of 20 games. So I'm not saying I won 9 out of 10 and that's a great streak, but I love this build. You open up and you get that very, very quick command center down and use a handful of Marines to defend early. The only real threat you have is an early Stalker push. And when I say early Stalker push, I mean early, like 2 Stalkers, 1 Zealot push. And you can always defend that by pulling SCVs if necessary, or better yet, throwing down a bunker. The idea is you expand off of 1 barracks, jump up to 4 or 5 barracks as quickly as possible. You can see he has yet to take a gas. This is exactly the way that I do, and exactly the way a lot of top players do it as well. VVV Murder is well known for this kind of a build. And we're seeing a lot of SCVs being pulled here. This looks like this could be a bit of an all-in push here, Red Mage. I think Lucky Fool's seen something that's tipped him off that he wants to attack right here and right now.
You're absolutely right. SC Ermac has been doing a great job. He's been chrono boosting out that warp gate technology so he can try to get those open, and he's trying to get down more and more gateways, which are about to pop here momentarily. I don't know if they're going to get in just in time or not.
Gonna be good force fields there. Real tough to block this ramp, given how wide it is. The Marines can slip up the left side, though, so they're going to move up and target fire down the sentries. And right now, it's Airmac in a lot of trouble. That last Stalker going to die very, very quickly. And now it becomes a question of how well Lucky Fool can manage this using just his handful of Marines and SCVs.
Oh yeah, this is actually looking really, really brutal. The 2 gateways finally popped up top. They're now into warp gates. More and more units about ready to warp in. A couple more probes being pulled in and target firing down a couple of those Marines, or trying to at least. They're more and more reinforcements are streaming in right now for Lucky Fool. We're trying to get up to that main ramp right now, as Stalkers are right now coming out of those warp gates.
Well, this is the real danger of any Protoss who wants to try to expand on this map. You have to expend a lot of force fields to try and block that bottom ramp, and now we see this gigantic ball of Marines, 10 of them, chasing some Stalkers around. The gas so very low for Airmac, and what Airmac would need to deal with this adequately right now would be force fields. He's not going to have access to that. His gas count so low, expanding off of 1 gas. Now the probe's being pulled, and this is going to be our GG. There's the GG from Airmac. So Lucky Fool jumping out to a 1-0 lead here in our opening best of 3 series, and our IG Cup number 7 brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Wow, what a fantastic matchup right there to begin the game, the day off there. Airmac and Lucky Fool going into a fast expand. Lucky Fool using that brief lapse in timing use that to really capitalize on it and go in there and really do it. So this is going to be excellent.
Oh yeah, absolutely excellent play here out of both of our players. So they're going to be getting the map selection now out of Lucky Fool, and Ermac down 0-1 to a guy like Lucky Fool. That's not a place you want to be in right off the bat.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely not. All right, so we're going to Tal'Darim Altar. That's going to be nice. Both of these guys favoring larger maps. That's going to be an interesting twist. Considering usually we see a lot of people go immediately to Xel'Naga Caverns, Metalopolis, things like that. A little bit smaller of the map face, but I think this is going to be a very interesting pull in here for these guys.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So looks like moving in here, Tal'Darim Altar, and Ermac, it's rare to see a Protoss really choose a map that is so wide and spread out like Tal'Darim Altar. Protoss, in general, no matter if it's against Zerg or against Terran, the end game is always kind of geared around that Colossus Deathball. And the more room you have, the larger a map happens to be, the more room you have to abuse the immobility of that Colossus Deathball. So, looks like Ermac, though, maybe he just wants some room to sit back and macro out, does not want to be victimized by that aggression. But we are going to jump right into the match now. We've got our ready check down. This is, of course, IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, and Max Integration. So zooming in here now to Tal'Darim Altar. We've got NRG Lucky Fool going to be spawning up in that top left corner and cross map. We're going to see, having switched colors now just to mess with my overlay, going to make me do that on the stream like a jerk. SC Ermac spawning down in the pink, down in the bottom right-hand corner. So if Ermac wanted some room to work and some room to breathe, he certainly got it here. Cross positions on Tal'Darim Altar might be the furthest walk distance in all of the SC2 map pool.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I have a feeling that Ermac was going to try to play those odds right there to make that distance the absolute farthest that Lucky Fool could get. Although that could work into both of their favors. Really, that would mean Lucky Fool might try to do some proxy racks. Ermac is definitely going to try to do the 4-gate.
Right.
All kinds of things can happen with a map this size with that much distance, and both of these players really are gonna want to put on as much aggression as humanly possible. Right now, you see Ermac sent out a very, very early scout to see where exactly Lucky Fool is, so he can denote whether or not he's going to do that fast expand or he's going to go for just a one-based 4-gate rush.
Well, he's already dropped that pylon here. He's not going to be fast expanding too terribly fast. As soon as you see that pylon dropped around that Nexus, well, and to be honest with you, the 4-gate rush is really just, on a map this size, and given how nerfed it's been in patch 1.33, 4-gate really just is not super effective anymore, unless you happen to catch your opponent just way off guard, as if he's expanded and not even attempted to tack on more army. But he does have that probe out very, very early, so looks like he's trying to gear his mid-game, or what the mid-game plan he's trying to assemble, and the build that's going to lead to that, around Lucky Fool. So playing a very reactionary sort of game, and Lucky Fool probably just going to do exactly what he did last game, and got a little bit interrupted in that, but the general gist of that build, and it's a build that I use in a lot of top Terrans. I am not a top Terran, but I try to be like them. I copy them as much as possible. But a lot of top Terrans do is you expand off of one barracks and maybe one gas. You can even skip that gas. Lucky Fool did last time. He's got the gas up this time. But the idea is you get up on that second expansion off of one gas, use a handful of Marines and maybe bunkers if necessary to defend. Then all of a sudden you switch entirely to Marauder production once you feel confident the Protoss isn't going to be throwing Stargates at you. And just pure Marauder army supported with Medivacs is just so hard for any Protoss player to deal with.
Oh yeah, we see that factory going down right now for Lucky Fool. Looks like he may be going in for some Hellion harass. We may see a reactor pop down here momentarily as soon as he gets 50-50. Well, okay, guess he's gonna go for the Marine instead. But yeah, that would have been the perfect choice right there. Throw down the reactor and then do the tech switch right there, on the factory.
The Hellion harass against a Protoss really just isn't all that effective. It's Zealots are what you're going to be able to take out primarily with Hellions, but Sentries and Stalkers are going to be the majority of the early game composition. You're going to see one or two Zealots out from an early Protoss, but largely you're going to see that Protoss favoring Stalkers and Sentries. Looks like maybe going to move out a little bit, and this is the kind of pressure I was talking about earlier that can really punish a fast expand, is if two Stalkers and one Zealot can beat the absolute hell out of 3 or 4 Marines. But Lucky Fool actually not expanding at all. Instead, going to pull up the production tab, and we can see he's going to be going with
double starport.
Oh yeah, that's going to be Banshees. He's going to be going with double Banshee starport here. And, it's not risky per se, but it is, once you commit to it, you're kind of stuck there for a while. Once you start that Banshee production, it takes so very much to keep that up and maintain it, and especially if you go all the way and research Cloak. Cloak is going to be good against a Protoss player, especially one on a map this size. It's going to favor an early expansion because you tend to see a Nexus before you see any sort of a robotics facility. So that robotics facility being delayed means that Observer is going to be delayed. Cloak Banshees can really, really punish that. Yeah, to one tech lab going down now. Going to see the other, I'm sure, quite shortly. But, it's kind of, it has a weird feeling to it because really the Banshees off of 2 Starport Banshee are actually going to get a Raven. So it looks like...
Raven? Oh.
Yeah, well, you and I talked about this a long time ago. Putting together a Cloak Banshee Marine / Hellion / tank or whatever the hell you want to throw in with one Raven to throw down a point defense drone, it's so lethal. Just so lethal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely brutal. And, I actually discovered a really great use for a Raven against a Terran that loves to use siege tank lines and things like that, is you throw down those auto turrets right next to them and let them just shell each other to death.
Right.
And that's I found that it takes a while, but it's actually pretty hysterical.
Well, 2 Stalkers gonna make it into the main here of Lucky Fool, who actually changed colors too, and I haven't changed his color at the overlay yet. But gonna make it in. And it looks like he did get a look at these starports, so he's gonna know that one way or the other he's gonna be seeing either Ravens or Banshees, or most likely a combination of both. As we do see now that Raven. Did that Raven pop out? I didn't see it. Yep. Yeah, there he is. Now that Raven's out, going with strict Banshee production. So, and I'm sure we're as we talked about, we're going to be seeing that push off of a point defense drone. The timing of it's kind of weird. You can really catch your opponent off guard. And oddly, if you look down here, Ermac was beginning to expand, and it looks like he canceled the Nexus and that extra pylon, and basically canceled his expansion in response to what he saw out of Lucky Fool.
Yeah, very, very smart. Here we see this one Hellion coming in right now, just shooting this little probe in the butt right now as the little bit of army comes out here for Ermac and chases it away. That's kind of a good thing. I think that was his entire army, but it would Lucky Fool at this point can't determine whether or not that's his whole army or just a small fraction of it, just enough to push away that Hellion. He's going to either have to waste the scan or send something in there to really take a look. But you see the conga line forming right now from Lucky Fool's base.
Oh, he's
all
pulling
the way
SCVs as well.
Oh, he's coming back in for one of his famous pushes. As we see a robotic bay go down right now and another pylon. This is probably a very smart move here by Ermac to go ahead and cancel that expansion. He's getting up some photon cannons right now. I don't know if they're going to be zoned in time before these all this attack gets here.
So we're going to see this pylon picked off, and actually that's going to supply block his opponent. So at the moment, Ermac's going to have to defend with what he has. He does have the Observer. Haven't seen the point defense drone go down yet. That Raven's being... There it goes, finally. The Raven almost dying there. But the PDD going to completely nullify not just the Stalker, but the cannon as well. And this is going to be GG. No way Ermac can bounce back from this. Lucky Fool going to be able to get into the main now. And with the lone Observer down, the Raven's still in play. The SCV's there to drop bunkers if needs be. This is pretty much a done deal, Red Mage.
Oh yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. That one photon cannon completely taken out right now. You do see a couple more Stalkers being warped in right now, but with those 3 Banshees right there, target firing them down, this is almost all but over at this point. He even had enough left in the tank to throw down yet another auto turret, and there's the GG there by SC Ermac.
So there's the GG.
The GG.
Lucky Fool going to advance out of this round of 32. Going to be moving on to the round of 16 here in our IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to itsgosu.com, see all the upcoming events that we have between now and the end of the year. 5 to 6 games a week between now and then. So much stuff going on for every level of play because, of course, itsgosu.com is esports for everybody. So no matter what your skill level, we definitely have something for you. So definitely go and check out all those kind of things. Again, today we have our IG Gosu Cup number 7. Tomorrow we have our King of the Hill Challenge. That's always great because the winner of that gets an automatic invite into our invitational toward the end of the year, end of the month, and that's always a lot of fun because you get some of the top players from our Omega divisions as well as the King of the Hills. Always a lot of fun. It's almost like tonight. But with this one's more of like an open tournament. We just happen to attract a lot of really heavy hitters today. We cannot wait to see what's going to go down today.
All right, so who's next up on our plate here, my friend? Have we determined who we're jumping in with next?
Gonna figure that out here momentarily. Give me 1 second while you run through the sponsors.
Oh, that's not a problem, my buddy. This is, of course, the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and also brought to you by Hypocrite Games, bringing you Bob versus the Rubber Duckies, the real-time bath time battle simulator. More information on that forthcoming right around the time of E3, just coming up in a few weeks. Cyberground.us, land center of choice for all our IG staff and IG events. Check them out online. We're going to be there 2 weekends in a row starting next weekend. Going to be myself, Red Mage, Mr. Mini-Me, SKS Dark, having 2 live events. I'm going to be live casting alongside of Rage Quit TV's IP, actually, not Imp, IP. Yeah, that's double P, not MP, but IP from Rage Quit TV going to be casting. I'm going to be guest casting that event, Lucky Fools Tournament, next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that's going to be the first IG live event. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. We've got a big prize pool for that, but also just tons of door prizes, tons of raffle prizes, all that fun stuff. So can't wait to get involved with that as well. Then, of course, Max Integration, your IT technical company of choice and source for all your IT solutions. They work with you in real time on your time, and they're going to help you take your web or IT project to the next level. Red Mage, where we at? Who we got?
Still trying to find that out right now. The most of those round of 32s are wrapping up right now.
Not a problem.
But it's they're kind of coming in at odd braces. So I'm still trying to locate that.
Well, in all fairness, Lucky Fool did kind of bull his way through there. He, not trying to hate on SC Airmac, or anything, but Lucky Fool kind of 2-0'd him in pretty convincing fashion. So, going to be lagging behind a little bit. We do see the Lucky Fool is going to be taking on the winner of SKR or Chloro, 2 players I am not particularly familiar with. Rebly has advanced out of the first round as well. Still waiting on the results to see if VT Avilo is going to make it out. GG Last Shadow still in his matchup as well. Wow. Complexity RSVP got beat by a guy named DeGod.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was kind of shocked to see that. And he's going to be taking on our frequent competitor at the IG events, Anonymous. That's going to be a one heck of a game right there.
Oh yeah, Olanon, he shows up a lot. By the way, guys, if you're here with us in the stream, please hit the like, hit the follow, hit the tweet. If you got some friends who you think might enjoy this, send them the link. We're trying to make our sponsors happy. Look at it like an MMO. It's all about getting higher numbers, right? That's how our sponsors feel as well. The more followers, the more tweets, the more likes we have, the more money they're going to give us that we can give to you guys in the form of cash and prizes. And, of course, the prize pool for tonight brought to you by our sponsors, but brought to you by you guys, too. Thank you so much. We've achieved featured status on TeamLiquid.com now. Thanks so much, and that would not have been possible without all of you viewers hanging out with us in the stream and hanging out with us in the BattleNet chat. And, make sure it doesn't matter what you're up to. If you happen to be on StarCraft and you're looking for someone to game with or talk shop with or just to screw around, join the BattleNet channel. It's Gosu. Usually myself, Red Mage, Mr. Mini-Me, SKS Dark. Somebody's going to be in there waiting on you. Oh, and Voss as well. Can't forget Voss. All those guys really keep things together behind the scenes for us and make all these events possible. So special thanks to them while I'm happy to be thinking about it. But, so still waiting on our next matchup. Going to be round of 16. Going to be starting on Tal'Darim Altar. Lucky Fool awaiting right now. The winner of SKR or Chloro. VT Avilo still waiting to see if he's going to make it out of the round of 32. Same thing with GG Last Shadow. And again, the surprise as of right now, Complexity RSVP beaten by a guy.
Actually, he wasn't beaten. He had to leave because he had a prior engagement that unfortunately he had to take that. It was a clan war that he had to get called into. I just found that out from Voss. So, yes, he was not defeated. He unfortunately just had to leave. So,
well, either way.
That was unfortunate. But, so there we go. So, DeGod, I guess you could chalk that up. That's just one of those things, Sometimes you can be like, yeah, that's right, I got him. It's, you tell that kind of story to your friends, when they ask, what'd you get that scarf from?
Link him to the bracket, right?
Yeah, I got ravaged this bear or whatever, I defeated John Cool.
It wasn't no thing. 2-0, just 2-0 round of 32, nothing. I mean, he's only one of the better players in North America. No, don't worry about it, though. It's cool.
It's cool, yeah. Don't ask him about the game. No, I don't.
Oh, no, I had to get rid of the replays, part of a contractual agreement.
They delete it automatically.
Exactly, yeah. Or how about, the map hack makes the replays delete.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember that from our last Omega Divisional. Let's not go down that road.
That's right.
Moving on. Still waiting.
So, yeah, I'm actually trying to see who won the. I was waiting to see who won the VT Avilo Thunder matchup. They're still playing. It looks like they're probably going to be, knowing Avilo's play style, even though it's been about 30 minutes, that's still probably game one.
Right, I was going to say, yeah, at this point, they're still maybe getting up on that first racks or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, as good as those matchups are. And then also waiting for CU beats between TQ Santis and Goswer to take on Naz. And then Rev Shadow did defeat 500.
Oh, really?
Who's another frequent player on our events there.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty opening field right here. I've got to say, there's a lot of really big names coming in and really doing some damage here.
Oh yeah, so and I can't wait. It's not about to to undercut anybody, but once you get down to about the round of 8s, when you really get into the thick of things, you've got some amazing players who are committed to trying to win the prize. $100 grand prize, first prize tonight, by the way. So not exactly a small prize on the line right now. $20 is going to be going to our second place finisher, and $10 going to be going to our third place finisher. So once again, thanks so much, guys, hanging out with us in the stream, hanging out with us in the chat. It's my absolute pleasure to be here with you. And I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. This is the IG Cup number 7. We just watched NRG Lucky Fool 2-0 SC Airmac in our opening action round of 32. And moving on to the round of 16 now, just waiting on the rest of the bracket to catch up a little bit with us. Lucky Fool, pretty well known for making a decision that it's time to attack, has no problem pulling half of his SCV line just to make sure he's got something to tank that damage, and just pretty much completely committing to the attack. So we saw that out of him 2 games in a row, and that kind of gave us 2 rather quick games, if we're to be honest.
Oh yeah, and, but that's exactly the kind of style that he likes to play. He doesn't like to let a lot of players get macroed up, especially when you have a 2 basing Protoss or a 3 or 4 basing Zerg. Those are when you really get into some serious dangerous situations right there. And Lucky Fool he doesn't have any of that. He just wants to go right in, take it out. It's just real quick, boom, 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 and then it's all done. He's the Jack Bauer of. Well, actually, I can't really say Jack Bauer. It takes him 24 hours to do anything. So I guess he would be the Speedy Gonzalez of Terran play.
Well, still waiting on our next match, folks. I'm gonna go ahead.
My analogies are off now because we didn't do anything yesterday, and
I know.
With Flash, I was trying to be a Weisenheimer in the chat, and nobody really was appreciating it. Even though the end game was a TVZ, and there was one Marine that took out almost an entire line all by himself. And I was like, it's Casper Van Dien. And
wow.
Nobody liked that. So that was
See, I didn't see it. If I had seen it, I would have been a big supporter, man.
That's right. So.
Okay.
Those are the kind of days that you and I have sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, let's pop the calendar back up. Every little box you see there that is not white is a day that you and I are doing something together. Seriously, in the red states, we're common law married. We are bound in the eyes of God, so to speak. We are on the mic so damn much together. 20 events a month, $1,500 in cash and prizes. You can find this full calendar and information about all of our events at itsgosu.com. Just go to itsgosu, check the main page. About midway down, you'll see announcing our 2011 tournament series breakdown there, or you can just flat out sign up. We tend to post the sign-ups for every event about 1 week ahead of time, and you can find that right underneath the bottom. We've also introduced a new little module. It's for our VODs that we post under the IG name. I'm going to be producing a lot more VODs once we get through this weekend, pretty much. It's so damn busy, but we're going to be doing some IG daily repcasts. I'm going to be casting 1 game from replays each and every day, and you're going to see that up on the It's Gosu VODs section, so make sure you check that out as well. So, Red Mage, I hate to ask once again, where we at?
Getting a couple of people just registered in their scores. I'm just waiting for the brackets to update so I can see where we are. I'm really hoping that it's not in the middle of the field where nobody else has has played yet. So I'm hoping we get somebody here real quick. I'm still waiting to see who will take on Lucky Fool. Lucky Fool is, a lot of people were concerned that he wouldn't be able to play tonight because he's also in the Zotac matchup tonight. Yeah, so it's one of those things where he's having to split his attention on multiple fronts today. So that's kind of a really neat trick for him to do that.
Yeah, we run into that a lot. I mean, really, esports in the West is growing at such an amazing pace at this point. It really is kind of amazing just how many events are going on now. Zotac Cup did just expand to have a North American tournament. You can read about that, by the way, if you happen to want more information about that on itsgosu.com. There was a write-up done by that by some guy. I don't know. I hear he's a jerk, though. But you can find that on itsgosu.com. And also, the big news of yesterday, if you've yet to hear, in the MLG GSL partnership, for the first time in the history of esports in Korea, GSL is going to allow players to qualify into their major events through a foreign tournament. It's going to be a player exchange program. The MLG, the top-ranked finishers in each MLG event are going to wind up being seeded into either Code S or Code A on the expense of GSL. GSL is going to fly them out to South Korea, down to Seoul, down to the studios, and keep them there for a while to see how they can pan out there. And in exchange, GSL players are going to be coming over to compete in MLG. So I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's just me being an old Brood War guy, and just especially after last night, having seen the difference in caliber between the Koreans and everyone else after casting MMA twice and MMA taking on his teammate Lots once from Team Slayers. Those Koreans are just amazing. I got a feeling we're gonna see some Korean domination in the MLG events. I do hope, though, really hope that we see a lot of good guys getting seeded into Code S and Code A over in the GSL out of the MLG. And just to see them compete would be great. I mean, right now, in the West, everyone loves Jinro and Huck because they're kind of what we got. We don't really have a whole lot else going for us in South Korea. So in one case or another, it's going to be just great to have some new blood, so to speak, from the West competing out in Korea and trying to complete the foreign invasion, which has been much hyped, but so far has produced very little results.
And that's actually going to be pretty cool because I unfortunately will not be competing at Columbus, so that ruins my chances right there of going to the GSL right there because I just step in and dominate. It'd just be one of those things,
right?
And I just look at it and be like, I'm a bronze.
Sorry, we're training you up. We'll learn you sometime soon, even if we got to tan your hide.
That's right. Learn me something.
We'll learn you up good. But yeah, by the way, it's still trying to find out if I'm going to be able to make it to MLG Columbus. Either way, if I'm going to be there or not, if you've got the chance and you're in the area, check out the MLG. I mean, seriously, it is the biggest event going on in Western esports right now. It really doesn't get much better than that in terms of what we've got here, in terms of live events anyway. So 6 Jacks, Major, and Bez. Never heard of Bez, but this is going to be our next matchup starting out in the round of 16 on Talent Arena Ultra. 6 Jacks, Major, though, I'm pretty sure a few of you have heard of them. I'm pretty sure a few of us know his name, correct?
I was waiting for the audience to reply. But they're just stunned, speechless by the awesome cacophony that is happening tonight. That's what they are doing right now. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with Bez. I'm gonna, he's a Protoss. Major, I don't. He sounds familiar, but I can't recall in my brain pan what his games were like, so I'm a little lost in that.
He's a very aggressive player, a lot of fun to watch. But either way, you and everyone else who maybe not so familiar with him, gonna have a chance to get to know him tonight. Starting out Talent Arena Ultra, round of 16 action, finally moving in from the round of 32 after watching NRG Lucky Fool kind of bowl his way through the round of 32. This is the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, bringing you Bob versus the Rubber Duckies, the real-time bath time battle simulator. More info on that going to be coming out right around the time of E3. Cyberground.us, the center for all your nerdly needs and land center of choice for all IG staff and IG events. And Max Integration, your IT technical company and source for all your IT solutions. They work with you in real time on your time and will help you take that IT project or web project to the next level. So if you're enjoying the tunes underneath, by the way, check out the links, halotopic.newgrounds.com, myspace.com/Indigo League, and Ronald Jinkies, which is what you're hearing right now at ronaldjinkies.com. Buy his album Disorganized Fun. I love it. It's one of the best albums I've ever heard. And if you really want to kick, go to YouTube and just search for Ronald Jenkins. He's not going to be at all what you expect, and he's bound to give you a good amount of entertainment. So, moving in now, we've got Six Jacks Major as our Terran, and Bez here on Tal'Darim. So, once again, we're going to have this cross-bomb positions. Our player's going to have a lot of room to spread out and try and show us exactly what they're made out of. But from what experience I have out of Six Jacks Major, he tends to be a very aggressive player. He favors early aggression, favors getting it. He's a little bit like Lucky Fool, really. And granted, I'm not the most versed in his style, but I do know that every time I've seen him, he makes a decision and then follows through with it immediately. He doesn't, kind of attack, then kind of pull back. If he chooses to attack, especially in the early game, it tends to be the sort of attack that's going to end the game one way or the other.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what the decision that you really have to make in the early game is you have to find that window and shoot for it and follow through like a golf swing. You have to follow through. If you stop halfway, you're going to shank that game so far out of whack that it's going to come around and ricochet off a tree, and then the Cinderella story will be absolutely ruined, and then that will be no good.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So Six Jacks Major, yes, the Caddyshack reference, yes.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be an IG event without some obscure movie references or bad science fiction references, right?
Oh, that's right. I'm actually going to ask the chat right now. If you're in the chat, I'm gonna tell me what movie we're going to pick 2 movies, and AC and I are going to try to relate as many situations as we can. So chat in 2 movies right now that you want us to reference at nauseum here between now and the end of the setup here. So we'll be going to the matchup here as we see Bez is going for a he's doing the pretty standard thing, putting the gas, the pylon, the gateway, all that kind of cool stuff. And then we see the Terran kind of walling himself off there at the choke, as usual.
Really not a whole lot to read off of this other than the fact that Major is getting his second supply depot before he gets that second barracks.
Except there's a little gap right there.
Yeah, little room to squeak out. It's kind of tough to wall in on Tal'Darim using barracks and supply depots. That's why you tend to just see the choke left open, and then you just use barracks to create a bit of a wall at the base when needed. That second gas going up now for Bez. So, and again, it's kind of reached the point now where I can almost guarantee the death of the 4-gate is all but complete. And don't get me wrong, 4-gate aggression early on, especially if you fake the Nexus and cancel the Nexus at the last minute after faking a 3-gate expand, it could still be very lethal, especially against the Zerg. But the day of it being the go-to aggressive build of Protoss is well past now. So instead, what you see in a lot of PVTs is probably what we might be seeing out of Bez if he really wants to try and do something aggressive. That you move out with a Stalker and a Zealot, or maybe wait on that second Stalker even, and then try to put aggression on against the Marines. Marines just do not match up well against Stalkers and Zealots, and you can really do a lot more damage with just a small amount of units than you can think. Major going ahead and getting up that command center now too, so he is going to be a little bit vulnerable to early aggression if Major should choose to, or Bez should choose to go that route.
Oh yeah, it looks like Six Jacks is he's sent out a couple of Marines right now looking for those proxy pylons outside of the third base there to the right. He's really trying to make sure he's not going to get that early rush. So we did a great job of at least scouting around to make sure there was not going to be that early pressure as of yet. From Bez. So that's a really smart thing to do if you're going to do not really a chancy situation like this, but take that early lead economically. So very smart move there by Major. As we see, the Nexus does go down right now for Bez, probably going on the fact that since they are across spawn positions, he's going to go ahead and throw that down because I think he feels safe. But as we saw, the Lucky Fool matchup right there. Sometimes thinking you're safe doesn't mean you're safe. By the time you get back in the water, there's always some man-eating shark that's about ready to get you and Samuel L. Jackson. So, all kinds of things can deep blue sea.
Yeah, see.
They actually wanted us to reference, Thor in Fast 5, and I'm like, we haven't seen those
Okay,
yet.
One of those movies I want to see. The other movie you'd have to pay me to go watch. So, but it's not that. It's not that
I have to pay you to watch Thor.
No. I saw Saw a great little banner, by the way. We do see Bez sneaking a third Nexus out here in probably one of the least scouted positions in terms of a TVP on this map. I mean, you're going to see SCVs and Marines being active on the map and scouting around, but you're not going to see too many of them go all the way up there to scout that position. So a good place to put it if you're going to try and sneak it. But Major looks like he smells something fishy. Fishy? You get it? It smells like he smells something fishy that's going to be moving out on the map with a handful of Marines here. And this is actually quite a scary force, given that there's only 5 sentries, a Zealot, and a Stalker to try and defend this. And this is where you really run into the risk of, if you're going to try and sneak a command center or a Nexus early, you've got to make sure you've got the personnel back home to try and deal with any aggression. Now, here we go. Major going to rush the ramp with about 16 Marines going to get cut in half, but that initial Zealot going to be targeted down. Great control here by Bez. It looks like he's actually going to clean this up pretty well. So especially after one more warp in of his gateways, but a really effective use of the force fields there, cutting the forces in half, isolating them, and allowing the Stalker and those sentries to deal with them. So we're going to see a little stutter step micro here. Now, looks like Major not going to quite be have enough firepower to clean that up. Bez did have 2 more Stalkers waiting in the wings as well. So a few units there donated by Major for all intents and purposes. Really didn't do enough damage to justify throwing away 16 Marines. But he has had that second base up for quite some time, so he's going to be springing into an economic advantage very, very shortly.
Oh yeah, that was just such a that was a good push there by Major, trying to make something happen right there, trying to punish for that what he supposed was just a late expansion. I don't think he realizes that there is that third all the way kind of toward that 12 o'clock position right now, and as you can see, almost in a mirror matchup, Major is taking one almost at the 6 o'clock position. So both of these guys are really kind of on the same time frame right there, that they're or a mindset of trying to hide that expansion just a little bit further off the beaten path. Of course, there are those little reed areas there. Although it doesn't go all the way across, you still do kind of have to move yourself through there in order to see those. But you see right now that Major is sending out a couple of Marines right now, trying to find out what is going on right there. He does have one kind of oddly queued. He may actually miss this one expansion here at the 12 o'clock entirely. Which would be a not good thing.
Not quite a misstep.
And he's going to walk right past it. Yeah, he's going to miss it.
Hey, he's got one Marine arcing that way now, though. So it looks like he is going to.
There he does. Yep.
He is going to spot this. So now Bez found out he's going to be stretched very, very thin trying to defend this. And actually, I'm a little surprised that Bez, he's just now getting up on a Twilight Council, has yet to take any sort of a Colossus tech. Yet to drop that support bay, even though he's had the robotics bay for some time. So really just going with a gateway-heavy army. And this is a little bit reminiscent of a Del Scott style of build in a PVT. You just rely on good upgrades. He is getting that +1 to the ground weapons, and then try to get blink and charge just about as quickly as you can. So his base has been found out, and here's the problem now. You see he's had to move down away from that ramp. All those force fields that those sentries have saved up, having been on the map, and having all that energy saved, are not going to be nearly as effective in a wide open space as they are to choke.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. He's definitely going to need to pull back. We do see a medevac being loaded up now. He's got 3 Marauders and 1 Marine. I don't know why he didn't take just 1 more Marine there to just kind of make that a nice full house. But I guess he wants a little room. He wants a little wiggle room in there for those Marauders and whatnot. As we see him coming out there.
Those guys are pretty big. They got to stretch your legs out.
Yeah, you gotta have the little. Actually, speaking of drops, right? I was at Best Buy the other day. They released the Alien collection on Blu-ray.
Oh, did they?
So yeah, it was actually pretty funny. I could not help but think of you.
Oh, thank you, my friend. 2 drops going down now. One heading up to the 3rd, the other heading to the natural. Going to try and keep an eye on both. So here we go. Major unloading now at the 3rd and at the natural at the same time. Probes being pulled off to try and deal with this. That's not going to be a matchup they're going to win. Only 2 Stalkers here to try and deal with this. It looks like actually Major, not sure. Okay, now we see more Stalkers coming in. Back at the 3rd. Looks like he's done an unbelievable amount of damage. Cleaning this up. He may actually be able to snipe down this Nexus.
Yeah, he's definitely going to take that Nexus. Those probes are actually pulled all the way off there right now where the regular 3rd is. They're going to do a long mine, but there's 1 Marine just standing there ready to go, and we see a small force of Marines and Marauders right now taking out that right-hand Zelnaga tower, and now they're making their way up into the toward the main No, but they're backtracking because they do see a large force from Bez coming through.
Oh, yeah, that force by Bez is going to be plenty enough to deal with that, but he did lose that third Nexus, so quite a strong attack here by Major, really going to set his opponent back. And we can see he's already in a gigantic supply lead, up to 152 to the 102 supply of his opponent. And doing a real good job of pulling back and not trying to force the issue too early. Gonna need a few more Marauders and needs to get some Ghosts in this mix, especially now that we see the Templar Archives on the way. So Templar Archives, Charge Lots, and it looks like we may get a good look at post-patch 1.33 Archons as well.
Oh, yeah. Now, we also see that, during that whole thing, Major went ahead and took yet another base right there in the natural third, and then Bez went ahead and is zipping in a Nexus right now at his natural third. We do see that lone factory all the way up in the upper left-hand corner, right about the 10:30, 11 o'clock mark. Just sitting there, ready to make sure that Bez can't continue to migrate that way with his bases. You're trying to hold a little bit more of the map control. We do see that these Marauders were picked up from after they worked so hard to decimate that one Nexus. They're coming back. Upgrades going across all over the board. Blink, Storm, +1 armor, +2 to the weapons. We're going to see a really heavy-hitting army force the next time they roll out here. There is yet another drop coming on right here on the right-hand side going into the main of
and another drop moving up the left. 2 drop ships on the left side moving up to that 12 o'clock position. Once again, going to try and follow both. So this medevac going to unload right behind, but Bez is quick to warp in 5 Zealots to try and deal with it. Going to turn that away, but here we go. The other 2 drop ships up at that third expansion of Bez going to be unloaded. Stem now going to run in, and really he may possibly, if he targets this Nexus, he should be able to take this out. The Zealots making their way. They do have the leg upgrade, but just now getting engaged. Gonna lose the Nexus. Big loss there for Bez. Gonna be way behind, and as this is all going on, Six Jacks Major has continued to push through the center. It looks like he's ready to end the game right now. He's at the supply cap against the 142 supply of his opponent. So the engagement on the ramp now, that's a lot of Marauders and Marines supported with a good amount of medevacs. Guardian shields popping off. Not even gonna worry about the force fields at the moment. Absolutely no Templar support at the moment. The forces of Bez just melting in front of Six Jacks Major, and pretty much this is going to be our GG just as soon as Major's able to move into the natural.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. We do see that one Templar did come in there, but unfortunately he did absolutely nothing. And there's the GG right there by Bez.
So Major going to jump out to a 1-0 lead here in our round of 16 action. IG Cup number 7 brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right about that, AC. Go to itsgosu.com, see all the upcoming events that we have. 5 to 6 tournaments a week between now and the end of the year, basically. So many. And we're gonna see what Bez wants as his next map choice right there. But don't forget, guys, next weekend and actually the weekend after that, back-to-back weekends, we're gonna be at Cyberground here in Northern Virginia. Having LAN tournaments there. It's gonna be great. The first one's of course sponsored by our good friend Lucky Fool. Yeah, that's gonna be casted by IP from Rage Quit TV, and my favorite caster of all time, AC. Will be there co-casting, and then of course the week after that will be the first official It's Gosu LAN event, and that's gonna be the real good one to come to, because that's when you get to see AC and I really perform our shtick live, and that's
in the flesh.
That's worth it in and of itself right there. That's like a once in a lifetime thing, so you really can't miss it.
Oh, maybe overbilling it a little bit. Once in a lifetime.
Wait, no, we're trying to hype it up there.
Either way, we really hope all you guys will come out, if for no other reason, if not to see us, and at least to hang around Cyberground. Cyberground's just a great place in general. Really one of the best LAN centers you're ever going to see. GSL Crevasse going to be the map choice here in our second game of this best-of-3 series. So Major out to a 1-0 lead. Looked very, very strong, and at the risk of maybe angering Bez if he goes back and watches the VOD. Looks like he was a bit outclassed in that last matchup, and looks like he may be at a bit of a disadvantage in this matchup as well.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to pull this out really quick. Hopefully, maybe he'll see, because he did get those cancels down a little late, and he didn't really go for that tech. So we'll definitely have to see how it's going. once we see more and more stuff. Okay, there we go. Hopefully we'll see him maybe do like a DT rush would be fantastic for him. That'll soak up so many of Major's mules, because he'll have to spend those on scans. And he won't be able to get up on those the 4 bases as quickly as he did. He's gonna have to start making probes, or not probes. SCVs, which is going to take away from Marines/Marauders. So it's just one of those things you've got to put the pressure on. He just didn't put enough pressure on a Major last game, and I think that's something he's going to have to correct on this one. Now they're a little bit closer with the spawning positions this time. Spawning at the 5 and the 7. So this could be a huge advantage to both players, being able to kind of cut the field in half. And with Crevasse, it's the ever-changing landscape that I really love about this whole thing. So tell us a little bit about Crevasse, AC.
Well, you really hit the nail on the head there. Anytime you're playing a game on Crevasse, the map really does have a way of morphing and changing itself as the match progresses. Starting at the spawns, though, the most notable things you're going to pick out are going to be this 85% expansion. That's what I call it anyway, because you only have 1 Vespene Geyser and only 6 mineral patches. Actually, this is the 75% expansion. The 85% is going to be, at least in my vernacular, on Terminus RE with the rich Vespene Geyser. Then you also have this, what I would call a true natural, right down the main ramp with the standard 8 mineral patches and 2 Vespene Geysers. This big ramp, right about as wide as we see on Tal'Darim, Altar, Shakuras Plateau, half of it, actually a little bit more than half, at least by the look of it, blocked by this destructible debris. Makes it very easy to hold a choke early on until you're ready to move out if you want a 1 or even 2 base off of this back expansion. And all throughout the map, you've got destructible rocks that can either hold or create new pathways for you to get to your opponent. Until those destructible rocks are taken out, the only way to get anywhere on the map is to jump through this center area. And that, of course, makes this a focal point for all the action, at least in the early game, and sometimes into the mid-game, as players are a little loath to cut down a lot of those destructible rocks, because not only does it open a path for them to use, but it opens a path for their opponent to use as well. So, and especially in a matchup like this, where you're going to see Protoss being hampered a bit by mobility issues, there's really no good reason for a Terran to open the map up any more than he has to. He can rely on drop pressure to abuse the mobility issues of a Protoss, instead of trying to just put together a giant Marine Marauder ball and A-move his way to victory. So Bez getting up very quick on his gateway and his cybernetics core. Actually, not very quick. On time. Major, though, taking a very quick second command center. And we always talk about this, Red Mage. Really, where you decide to expand early on kind of sets the tone for how your opponent what your opponent can expect out of you. You see Major taking this back expansion, not going to quite get the same economic advantage you would if he took this true natural, but it's much more safe. So that to me would indicate a guy who's wanting to tech a little bit more safely, wanting to progress towards the mid game. Taking this early, if you take this true natural first, that really puts you in a more aggressive stance, so to speak. It indicates to your opponent that you're ready to get out and mix it up early, that you have no fear of any aggression coming at you, and can really set the tone as to how a match progresses from there.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that, because you're taking that one out there, you're basically telling your opponent, boom, I am not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm outside of my base. I'm a little bit exposed, so to speak, but then you're also kind of playing mind tricks on your opponent, because he doesn't know, unless he gets into your base somehow, he doesn't know whether or not you already have that other base up and running.
Oh, exactly.
So he doesn't know. Did you double expand? Did you take this one first? Where are you in your path? So it definitely throws off your opponent taking this forward expansion right here. You just see that Major did go ahead and send out 3 Marines there and obliterated that poor probe. Who was just sitting there, not doing anything, but being very, very meticulous, sending that Marine over, checking for any proxy pylons. Very smart move, as so few people do that.
Red Mage, you may have called him, my friend. A quick Twilight Council going down out of Bez. And a quick Twilight Council, especially at the 5-minute mark, usually means DTs. Not every time, but a lot of the time. So, looks like you may have called that one out early.
Oh, look at that! Oh, starting to learn the game. That's awesome.
That's my boy. That's my boy. But
high five to myself.
That's myself. High five. Also known as waving at yourself.
That's right.
Or clapping, I guess.
With one hand. That's right.
Right. So Major's still just kind of looking like he wants the 2 base for a while, or I guess 1.75 base for a while. Actually, nope, not going to be the DTs. Instead, going to opt for that blink. That blink can really be a great tool to have in your bag early on, but the problem with getting blink on a map like this is if you want to utilize it at all, you really have to get a robotics facility up along with it. You need the observer to give you high ground vision. Without any sort of an observer to give you the high ground, blink really is only about half as useful on a map like this as it would be otherwise. And it's always very susceptible to exactly what it looks like Major's opting to do. He's just now getting down that factory, and he's already beginning to switch to at least get some Marauders in his mix, if not pure Marauders quite yet. And Stalkers just really stand no chance against Marauders in large numbers at all.
Oh yeah, as we saw, last game right there. But this is also a huge advantage there for Major, because by putting the factory where he does, I don't know if he's going to keep it there, but by putting it there, that forbids a lot of blink up into that upper area there, because you're just not going to be able to get that far most of the time. Now then you'll still be able to warp into the base there just to the right of that. But that is definitely a good indicator of what he plans to do. And there, Blink's already done. Bez getting ready to move in. This could be great because he'll be able to go right back to the other side.
Oh, he did manage to blink up. He walked those Stalkers up early on. Now going to try and walk them past. Going to force all these bunkers to unload. At least that's what he should be doing. No idea why he chose to stop and engage right there. Instead, going to move in down to the mineral line, blinking back up to the high ground. Doesn't matter, that factory granting that vision. So Bez really throwing away. I mean, yeah, he did some damage here to Six Jacks Major, but was it worth the blink and the time and the investment in the tech route to do that little bit of damage?
Well, not just that, but you've you went in there. You were about to take out a bunker, but unfortunately it just caught on fire. You didn't finish off the job. But now you've showed your hand. Now you've dropped your cards on the table. Now he knows you have blink.
Well, more so than knowing that your opponent has blink, it's more what your opponent can't have. To have blink at this point in the game means there's no way that he's taking an expansion. He's just now getting that expansion down, as we can see. So at this point you're one base ahead. At this point he doesn't have Stargate, he doesn't have a Robo. There's no way to do all of that and get blink before the 9-minute mark. So the fact that Bez has already showed that, now Six Jacks Major knows without a doubt exactly what his opponent can and can't have back at home as well. So, and Bez really looks to be a big fan of these hidden expansions, hiding yet another up around that 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, double expanding right there and throwing down the Templar Archives. This is a very, very dangerous play from Bez. On top of that, throwing down the robotics facility, he's really looking to try to transition out of I won't really call it a blunder move, but a not well thought out guerrilla
attack. It wasn't
attack.
very well executed. I mean, really, it all comes down to execution. I mean, he could have done a lot more damage with that, or at the very least, he could have at least pulled back and not cost himself quite so much. I mean, losing 8 Stalkers. You're talking about losing 1,000 minerals plus gas there. So 1,000 minerals and 500 gas investment pretty much down the drain. Now getting straight up to Psionic Storm, so didn't really have time to get the Templar out last time. Still dancing around the middle here. Major looking to get aggressive. Going to snipe down this pylon and make sure that there's nothing hovering around his base. Looks like he's about ready to go ahead and take his third down to True Natural. Yeah, here's the SCV. Gonna go ahead anytime now. Actually, okay, never mind. Make me look stupid. But
we do see a minor engagement. I don't know if you see that over the southern tower there, back and forth, just kind of throwing elbows.
Major just gonna run on past though and go straight to this true expansion here of Bez. Gonna lose this Nexus without a doubt. Nothing Bez can do about it except try to counterattack. Not gonna matter though. I mean, yeah, he may be able to do some damage, but all these Stalkers just melting now. That Nexus down now for Bez. Bez way behind, only with 1 Stalker left. It's about to be finished up, and there's the GG from Bez. So Six Jacks Major going to be advancing to our round of 8 here at the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. Almost said, IG Omega Divisional, just because we do so many of those events, man. It seems like we're always doing a divisional of some sort. I've gotten used to always ending that with divisional.
Yeah, divisional. Or I keep getting. I was before we started the thing tonight. I was asking, is it number 6 or number 7? I can't remember. I get all the numbers wrong. It's absolutely ridiculous sometimes.
Right.
That we that even though with the calendar, it's really hard to keep track of absolutely everything that's going on.
Oh, I know it.
And still more and more of the players are finishing up. So I will try to get us into the game super mega quick here as you talk about more about our sponsors and our calendars.
Is it super mega quick? Is that like twice as quick as regular quick?
That is twice as quick. It's almost as quick as the quick mix. So you never know.
I was just going to make a chocolate milk joke. I was going to say super mega quick. Is that like the chocolate milk that you hook straight into an IV and hook directly into your veins? Is that it?
Yes, you're exactly right. It's just that kind of quick. But you can't use the strawberry for that kind of thing. You have to actually put that into some sort of suppository.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice to know. You got to have a girlfriend for something, right? Anyway, our advertisers for this evening, who will no longer support us after that comment. Hypocrite Games bringing you Bob versus the Rubber Duckies, a real-time bath time battle simulator. More info on that forthcoming right around the time of E3. Check that out in a few weeks. I think that's going to be June 7th through the 9th. Cyberground.us, that's the next sponsor. Cyberground.us is your LAN center of choice. And LAN Center, official LAN Center of all IG staff and IG events. And Max Integration, your IT technical company of choice. And your source for all your IT solutions. They work with you in real time on your time and will help you take that web or IT project to the next level. So speaking of Cyberground US, don't forget we're going to be there live and in the flesh 2 consecutive weekends. Next weekend, Red Mage and I are going to be there helping out with Lucky Fools event down at Cyberground. I'm actually going to be co-casting alongside of IP of Rage Quit TV. Really looking forward to that. And the weekend after that, going to be our first live IG event. Tons of prizes, tons of cash to be given out. So if you happen to be in the Fairfax area, just look up cyberground.us. You can get all the information you need, get directions, what have you. And don't forget, every night is Ladies' Night at Cyberground. Yes, that's true. If you just want to come in and screw around on Facebook, ain't no one going to give you a problem because you're a girl in a LAN center. And you don't have that, ever. It never happens.
You're exactly right about that. So, it's free to play. And don't forget, anytime you guys go into Cybergrounds, ask them about their membership program. Let them know that it's Gosu sent you. They'll cut you a huge deal on that. I think it's usually like 10 or 15 bucks or something like that for the membership, but it gives you like so many hours free kind of a thing. But if you do it for It's Gosu, it's I want to say it's like half price. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm so confused that we're on Gosu Cup number 7. So
right.
Just go in there and let Derek, Dave, or Kim know that it's Gosu sent you, and they'll definitely take care of you.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love all those guys, especially Couch Dave. Couch Dave's my favorite guy in the whole universe because his name's Couch Dave. And just how awesome
Couch
is
Dave.
that?
Love Couch Dave. Oh, and he actually rolled out a new graphic for Cybergrounds that we're gonna get next week. Looks absolutely amazing.
Oh,
so
nice.
good. So.
Well, working on getting that next matchup. In the meantime, guys, if you happen to like the tunes you're hearing right now, once again, this is Ronald Jinkies in the background. Check him out, ronaldjinkies.com. Buy his album, Disorganized Fun. So good. It's an album I bought, and don't be one of those people who's like, oh, I'll torrent it, and if I like it, I'll support the artist by buying a t-shirt here. No, he doesn't sell t-shirts. He doesn't do live concerts. Go buy the album. Don't download it. Don't be a joik. Make sure you buy it. Disorganized Fun. Then, of course, Indigo League, myspace.com/Indigo League, and Halo Topic or Halo Topic. There's always been an argument about that at .newgrounds.com. So check all those guys out.
Potato, Topic.
Oh, it makes me think of that Family Guy duet between Stewie and what's the little Pris girl's name, the little actress?
Oh, I can't remember at the moment. I'll probably remember here in a second when I'm not thinking about it.
Seth MacFarlane is not nearly as clever as people give him credit for. He just likes a lot of old media. Like some of my favorite music in the world is like 1940s, 50s, 60s era, Billie Holiday style stuff. And a lot of his little musical tunes are just blatant rip-offs of those. So it's like I can't remember who it was. I think it was Sinatra and somebody else did one. It's potato, tomato, et cetera, et cetera. Let's call the whole thing off. And what's his name? McFarlane ripped that off entirely for that bit. But anyway, getting ready to jump into our next game. This is the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. I'm EC. That's Red Mage JR, and we're here bringing you some great action. Moving into the round of 8. It looks like we may end up casting one more round of 16 if we catch one before the series is over. But blasting through the field early here on this Saturday.
Oh yeah, there's an amazing group of players here. Everybody's just going absolutely bonkers, murdering everybody left and right. This is going to truly be a huge day. We're still seeing that the Avilo versus Thunder game still hasn't finished up yet.
Really?
That's it. Best of 3 series still isn't over yet.
In the round of 32, right?
In the round of 32.
Oh,
so we've
Jesus.
already done 2 sets of games.
And Vilo's good, too, so we're going to end up waiting on him the entire day.
Yeah, Avilo is a tremendously talented player, and but just a huge turtling Terran. I hate to say that because I'm a Terran, and I get so I get worn out when the game lasts more than 30 minutes.
Right.
Because I just like, all right, why haven't I done something? Why haven't you done something? You know, and I think that's where my flaw in Terran play comes in, because I hate tanks. I hate using tanks.
Oh, yeah.
I love using Reapers and Ravens and fast-moving stuff like that I can just go out. You and I were actually talking about this the other day, that I should probably just stick to try to end the game with harassment, because
You're good at harassment, man. You're like a lot of your other skill levels are still at that bronze league, but when it comes to harassment, you've got like gold, platinum level harassment. That's really the strong point of your game. So, yeah, I think you ought to stick more with harassment strategy.
Yeah, as soon as I'm done harassing, I'll be like, all right, well, you know, you're not dead. You're GG. So,
right.
You win.
Put him in gas.
Put him in gas.
Anyway. So it looks like we may be able to move into the round of 8, depending on how quickly Revolution and Kaelito finish up. That's a game I'd really like to cast. I'd like to cast whichever one of those win. Kaelito, though, always complaining about the curse of the cam here. Every time we've casted him in any of our events, he's a great player in his own right, but he just can't seem to get over the hump. Whenever we have him on cam, every time we cast him, he tends to lose, and not just lose, but lose pretty convincingly, like go down 0-2 quick or something like that. So
yeah, and that's kind of why I'm really anxious to see what he does, because he did he is matched up against Revolution, and that guy is spectacular. So I would hate to throw him off. Because you're absolutely right, Kaelito is such a great player, and for him to take on six Jacks Major, and with that Madden curse that we put on him, it's just terrible. I would feel so bad.
Oh yeah, speaking of all the events that we've seen him fail at every time we get him on cam, I'm going to pop the calendar up for you real quick. 2011 Tournament Series brought to you by itsgosu.com. 20 events a month, $1,500 in cash and prizes being given out each and every series. We're in the spring series right now, and we're looking to take that to the next level. Only way we're going to do that, though, is if all you guys share the link, hit like on Facebook, hit the tweet button on Justin TV, and certainly hit the follow. The more followers we have, the easier it's going to be for us to go to our sponsors and be like, hey, we're awesome. And they'll be like, oh, you are awesome. Here's a bunch of money. And then we're going to give all that money to you. Well, not all of it. Some of us need to eat. But aside from that little bit of food money, maybe a little bit of cigarette money if we're lucky, all of that's going to be flowing right back out in the form of cash and prizes to you guys. So much more stuff going on. Don't forget, as well, next Thursday and Friday, next week's going to be a busy week for me, my friend. Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be casting the One Invitational with Fire Flash, an absolutely amazing event last week. Last week we had members from Team Slayers. I had a chance to cast Slayers Lot and Slayers MMA, as well as VT Spades and Dignitas Killers in the semifinals and into the finals, and MMA took that down. Looking to have even more Korean involvement in the next one. So just really the talent level just so high in that. So I'm going to be doing that on Thursday and Friday. You can check that out at All For One Gaming, allfor1gaming.com, or justin.tv/allfor1gaming. I think that's the full address. Either way, there's a thread up on Team Liquid about it. And then Saturday, going to be bouncing back, casting alongside of it from Rage Quit TV. And going to be down in the Virginia area, down at Cyberground. So come say hi to Red Mage and myself, and look forward to seeing everybody out and about. So, Red Mage, any update? Do we have anybody caught up to us? How is it that every time, it seems like this happens 9 times out of 10 when we cast, we wind up with a couple of players who we just like cast matches that are over in 10 seconds, and then we got to wait on the whole field to catch up with us.
That's right. Well, we were getting ready to jump into the Avilo Revly matchup, but unfortunately, Avilo was super quick at jumping into that.
He takes 45 minutes to win one game every single time. But down, in his downtime, he's like, "Hurry, we gotta get going, yeah, now!" Because he's one of those tank expansion tyrants, man. He's one of those guys who just takes base after base and makes like 55 tanks that you can never break ever.
Oh yeah, it's actually, give me 1 second. Let's see what we can do. Give me one moment.
Not a problem. Well, he takes care of that. Once again, guys, thanks for hanging out with us in the stream and in the chat. Would really be a big help to us if you spread that link. Holla at your friends. Let them know there's some good casting and some good matches going on. IG Cup number 7, $130 on the line tonight. Red Mage and I are going to be bringing you all the action all the way up to the finals. Going to do this all in one sitting. Going to be doing it right. A lot of events going on this Saturday. I know that. Don't worry about it. Tell your friends this is the best one. Hit that like on the Facebook. Link up there. Tweet this event. And certainly hit that follow button. So, are we at all ready, Red Mage? Looks like he's still dealing with that. So, anyway, something that if there's anybody in the chat who's had any experience, what's the experience so far? Okay, let's see. It's Avilo. Okay, fine. Avilo.
Okay.
Yeah, according to Arkansas.
Avilo. Well, shoot. Well, then I've been calling him Avilo to his face for like almost a year now.
Let's see. Well, okay. Okay. So you know him in person, Arkansas. Do you know Avilo or Avilo in person? As he told you, that's how the name's pronounced.
Okay, yeah, so he does. All right, so there.
Hey, what the hell is this? Who's Pick My Axe? Pick My Axe. You don't get to come in our chat and then advertise your stream that's going to interrupt ours. Hell no. Get the hell out of here. What's he doing? Oh, my bad, Arkansas. It looks like she.
Yeah, there you go.
Looks like Arkansas gonna be Avilos. I know. Well, I will pronounce it like that from now on, Arkansas.
Okay, there you go. Well, shoot. Well, then I apologize to Avilo because I've been calling you Avilo to your face.
Way to go, ass. Ass.
For a while now. I don't know if it's just because he's just like, oh, okay, it's one of you dumb people, go away, kind of a thing, or
right.
If he's like me, when somebody like this, mispronounces my name, it's just like, okay, yeah. That's great. Thanks for being a fan.
Well, you've got one of those names, those screen names. It's very hard to mispronounce. I get called all kinds of stuff, man. I get called Icy. I've even been called Ayesi. Ayesi. How do you get Ayesi out of that name?
Well, actually, it's funny because people have actually called me, Red Major before. Like, what?
Red Major. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's got dyslexia. Anyway. We got a match set up ready. We ready to go, man. I love talking to you, but I'm sure the people in the stream want to see games as much or more they want to hear us just jaw about Avilo and his real name and get sassy with his girlfriend Arkansas. Sassy.
Arkansas. It's if you're a big fan of Big Bang Theory, when Sheldon breaks up with Amy Farrah Fowler, he gets a cat and he names it Zazzles. Anytime I hear there's a Zazzy, I'm like, it's Zazzle.
I used to watch Big Bang Theory quite a bit, and I don't know, I kind of quit watching television. I can't tell you the last time, outside of sporting events, the last time I sat down and actually watched TV. But, anyway, sounded like we had a match. Are we still getting that set up?
Still trying to get that set up. Apparently, Avilo is they're holding Avilo for us, but I can't find him anywhere. I even added him to I have him on my friends list. I can't find him.
Not in the It's Gosu chat. What a joke! Hey, Sassy, tell your boy to get into the chat, please.
So we're, but it's weird because apparently Voss can see him. But I can't.
It sounds like he's got you on ignore.
He's got some sort of glamour going up, so that way I can't see him. So
yeah, I'm not seeing a Velo in here either. So
it's Avilo. Excuse me, we were just having this conversation.
Oh, eat me. I'm trying to fix the fact that you can't get a game going. You're gonna flip me. You're not screwing the dude. You can't give me crap about it. Sassy
That's
can.
Right. Sassy Zazzles.
All right, well, you finished tracking down a Velo. Once again, this is the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. I'm EC, that's Red Mage JR, and I promise you we have some StarCraft on the line. I promise you. And believe it or not, as long as we've been sitting here and waiting, we do have StarCraft coming. Just a matter of allowing the field to catch up to us. We saw NRG Lucky Fool blow through his round of 32 best of 3 quite quickly. Then we moved into the round of 16 and followed 6 Jacks Major, and he won pretty handily too. So all of a sudden we're way out in front here, waiting on the rest of the field to catch up, taking us just a bit to get to get our next match together. So. Oh, and by the way, thanks, Voss. Voss in the stream. Yes, we know we could not do this without you or without SKS Dark and Mr. Mini-Me. Thank you so much, guys. You let us get up here and be bobbleheads and just jaw into a microphone for a while without having to worry about too much. Without you guys, it really would be a complete and utter mess. So, still waiting on Avalo. Come on, Avalo. Where the hell are you, buddy?
Well, I think it's maybe because my my player list is so full that's probably why I can't see him. So we're gonna try to trick the system here. We're gonna invite I invited Voss, so that way we can get Avila. Sorry, Avalo. I'm already messing it up into the game here, and I think he's gonna be playing Rebly.
Right.
So here we go.
That's going to be a hell of a good matchup. Rebly we've seen in a lot of our Omega divisionals. The guy's just a top-tier player for real.
Oh, yeah. He's such a great player, so this is going to be a great thing. So thank you very much, Voss. Thanks for pulling that off, and we'll now wait to get Avalo in here so we can. I know
as we adjust to learning to call him by his correct name, right?
I'm gonna mess that up so bad. So I guess
it's all right. We'll fix it, man. We'll fix it.
Yeah, yes, Voss, you do have to do everything because unfortunately,
we're incompetent. Yeah, that's why we're behind the microphone. If we were competent, we'd be doing something important, man. Come on.
All
right.
So yeah, this is gonna be. Oh, there we go. There's Avalo. I caught myself.
You know what's gonna kill me? This is gonna be either one of those 90-minute matches that takes forever, or Avalo's gonna kill Rebly. It's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be anticlimactic either way.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be one of those matchups that's gonna be pretty good with the TBT. As aggressive as Rebly is, and as slow as I can't really say slow, as methodical as Avalo is.
As patience in much nicer way. His playstyle does actually. Slow really is the only word.
Although watching in the last LAN event that Lucky put on, it was Avalo versus Lucky Fool in the final round.
Right.
And both of those Terrans just had it was like a ginormous line. It was you could have built a wall right down the center of it.
Right.
And it was huge. And then finally Avalo builds like 9 9
looks like we got the ready check from the. There we go. Okay, just making sure we get the countdown going.
Oh yeah, no, got it going. Yeah, no, he built like 9 Ghost Academies and used nukes to push back the line.
Oh
and
wow!
It was just he put Lucky Fool back. He put Baby in a corner. Using nukes. It was absolutely amazing. Just unbelievable gameplay right there. So, but now we're going to get into an actual game. You guys are going to get to see some real TV
some
action.
Actual StarCraft on our StarCraft stream.
Man.
Isn't that amazing? So
I know. As great as we are just gibbering and jabbering, we're going to see actual things. I'm Redman Share, your color commentary, but for your professional analysis, professional casting, my bromancer, AC, how you doing?
Oh, I'm well, brother. I'm only me because of you. Would not be me if I didn't have you along my side. Rebly going to be spawning down in the teal corner, the bottom right position, roughly that 4 o'clock position. VT Avilo, a guy who you really any tournament he enters, at least for anything we do, the guy you got to say he's favored at least in one fashion or another. He always does so well in every event that he's involved in with us. And as we were talking about, just such a patient player. And my God, this map is so huge. We may be here till like midnight, man.
Well, at least they're not cross spawn positions. I would
right.
really been blown away with cross spawn positions. But yeah, this Rebly, I think because he is very aware of Avalo's game style, so he could really try to do some very very early harassment,
right.
and really try to put Avalo on a I'm gonna do it. I know I am. He's gonna put Avalo, but as you see, like in the production tab, both of them are dead on. Like there's barely even a second between the two of them. As far as production goes, so these guys are major. Of course, as soon as I say that, the refineries are off by like 5 seconds. So fine, whatever. Make me look like Jurek. you jerk, you guys. That's great. That's fine.
Well, the problem with Rebly is, if I remember Rebly correctly, he favors tanks, man. We could have like the biggest siege line in the history of StarCraft on the way. Seriously, stretching from these positions all the way up to the top of the map. That wouldn't surprise me a bit, given the way both of these players play. So Rebly, though, we've seen him do some harassment too. He's not a guy who's always going to sit back. So. Could go either way at this point. Not easy to tell exactly. This is the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com. Brought to you, of course, as well by Hypocrite Games, by Cyberground.us, and by Max Integration. So check out those guys online. Special thanks to those sponsors who have helped make this possible. So Rebly now going to move up with this SCV. Gonna poke in and see. Yep, no expansion. Going to be the same one base build. He's doing as well. Getting a quick tech lab up on that barracks now, though. So both players right on time. One Reaper coming out now for Avalo. And looks like Rebly's just going to forego that. Avalo, we do know that he does favor a little bit of Reaper play in the TVT to do some scouting.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be a great advantage on this particular map, because you are able to get around a lot of those areas with that Reaper. And then we see the Avalo is going to go ahead and take his expansion as well. Just a little bit behind Rebly, but still be just as good. And smart move here by Rebly. He's putting that supply depot there by that cliff edge, so we can make sure that it prevents any sort of scouting right there. Rebly, of course, moving over a Marauder right there. Some very, very smart moves there by both of these opponents.
Well, this is one of those things where this really shows how well the opponents know each other. He's even got the Marauder down there just waiting on patrol for that eventual Reaper. So this is a guy who definitely knows exactly what his opponent tends to be up to in a TVT.
Oh yeah, and when you're playing somebody as good as Avalo, you really have to have your wits about you. You can't start freaking out, building random stuff for no really good reason, because he's going to punish that. He's going to know that he's got such great game sense and such great map ability, readability that he will immediately punish you for whatever you think you're trying to do here. And it looks like this Marauder is just shoving these two guys around. These two Marines on top of
come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
Come on, it's like when you're stepping into somebody's face, like, come on. That's kind of what's going on there. We see he's going to move those two Marines into that natural expansion. I figured he was going to keep them right back there in the middle line to prevent any harassment there, but I guess not. He's going to move them up just a little bit more to the choke. He does have possession of that left, or that southernmost Xel'Naga tower, so we will see most of anything coming in and out of that base there for Avalo. But unfortunately, I haven't seen the Reaper.
The Reaper, I was actually going to point that out. He's just been kind of hanging around. He's almost like a counter Reaper. It's a Reaper made not really to be active, but to hang back and to try and deal with any other Reapers who happen to come back. And we can see that the Avalo is actually doing exactly the same thing. He's got this supply depot near that little jump up and down point. He's got the Reaper there to try and deal with it. And this Marauder's still doing the come at me, bro routine on the same side for Rebly. So very cautious play.
AC, you kind of have to change the overlay. Rebly, it's showing him as a Protoss, not a Terran.
Oh, my bad. Not a problem. I'm just happy I got the name.
This is why we can't have nice events.
Oh yeah, it says the guy who can't get a game going ever. Yeah, my fault.
We're not gonna have this conversation right now. We're gonna put the kids to bed, and then we will talk at the dinner table.
We're not gonna argue in public.
We will not argue in public.
Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I think I deserve some credit for having the names in and the correct colors by the time the match started. Okay. Moving on.
Well, yeah, that is good. So yeah, we will definitely take that. We'll take.
At least I say Avalo's name right. How you like that?
Now we do.
Exactly. So the Hellions now going to move out for Avalo. That Reaper did take control of that southernmost Xel'Naga tower. These Marines going to run into a whole lot of hurt here. The Blue Flame Hellions going to shut that down, and all of a sudden, that's a lot of Marines there for Rebly. Not going to match up well with these Hellions at all. Avalo moving these Hellions in. This looks to be very nasty for Rebly Red Mage, kiting them around quite well. The Marauder coming up. One Marauder, that's going to be a stem with absolutely nothing to heal that damage. And as good as Marauders are against any sort of a Hellion play, that Marauder only going to be able to chase these things for so long. So now moving down into the main base, going to go to work here in the SCV line, picking off so many SCVs. About 4 or 5 die there, and they're all queued up in a line. More of them going to die. Looks like at least, oh wow, that is by far the majority of all the SCVs that Rebly had back in his spawn mineral line, and now Avilo going to be able to sneak those 2 guys out as they laugh all the way to the bank. Just on these 2 alone, we see 9 kills and 15 kills just on these 2 alone. So no idea. Let's go to the income tab and take a look. Oh
25
yeah,
workers right
oh
there.
yeah. Right now the harvester count 46-20 favoring Avilo. Avilo out to a tremendous lead. And for a guy who loves to play this macro oriented and loves to play hit you in the face style, he really just lived up to his name. Now he can sit back and know that he's got a sizable advantage, and all he has to do is build on that from this point.
Oh yeah, that was just absolutely brutal. With unfortunately, the way that that Rebel SimCity, those buildings in there, it forced all of those SCVs into a choke point, which those Hellions were more than happy to take advantage of, shooting in a straight line. One of those things where everybody kind of makes fun of them. Oh, you can only shoot in a straight line. Oh, you poor things. And then it pays off in dividends right there. We see that money scan going down right now. He's going to see that tech switch happening between the reactor, putting the reactor on the starport right there. So he's got to know that there's going to be some medevacs or some Vikings coming out. Medevacs for drops, possibly some Vikings for
so many
for defense
factories. Look at this: 5 factories, 3 with Tech Lab, 2 with going to be with reactors. So. Looks like going to be a lot of Hellion, a lot of tank play, and I love this. This is something you don't see. This is not super common. You tend to see Tank Marine or Hellion Banshee, and especially now that a Thor's in there, Avilo going to be able to push.
He's got Thor
on the map now, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know that Rebly's got the personnel or the economy to deal with this. I mean, even if he's able to beat back this initial push, another one just like it coming a few minutes from now should be plenty enough to secure Avilo a Game 1 win here in this best of 3.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. We see that this right here is going to be prime Avilo gameplay right here. He's throwing down that center map missile turret right there, and he'll in a few minutes he'll probably plant a siege tank there in siege mode and just kind of camp it out right there. It's going to turn into like a shanty town right outside of Rebel's
All right,
base
here we go. Engagement now down at this ramp. Tank's going to siege up. The Hellions going to work. That's a lot of Marines, though. That's a pretty big bio ball. And now with the medevacs to support, it actually looks like Rebel should be able to maybe not quite going to be able to clean this up all the way. Avilo losing a bit more than he probably should have there, but still able to come out well ahead. And now with these troops rallied in, 3 more tanks on the way. That Thor is still in pretty good shape, still with 289 hit points. And really at this point, it's Avilo's game to win or lose. All he has to do is set up shop and keep the pressure on. And unless Rebly does something to try and counteract this high pressure gameplay out of Avilo, there's no way he's going to bounce back.
Oh yeah, and a very interesting play by Rebel. He's building a command center there in that natural third, but he was running so low on minerals, and he's not really producing a whole lot of things. Now is the time to cancel that and try to up your army again. Before you try to expand, because you're not going to be able to move those SCVs. This is going to be really bad because Avilo has about 5 siege tanks lined up right outside the base. He's using those Hellions for vision. Yet another siege tank coming in, and yet another one on top of it. This is like
this is going to be the GG, and there's Avilo, the BM command center
right there.
Oh yeah, that's the BM command center saying, "Get out of my game. This game's over." So Rebly, and I'm not saying the BM's all that good. BM, by the way, for those who don't know, means bad manner. While I'm not the biggest fan of bad manner, they're landing the mule now just for the hell of it. Yeah, this game's over. The Hellion count just too high. And really, Rebly just kind of extending things at the moment. And this is something that we don't see too much out of Avilo. He tends to be, as we've joked about, a much longer player, a much more long-term game player. Instead, really getting in his opponent's face and doing the damage early, and now riding it to a very convincing Game 1 victory here in our IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. What a very interesting matchup. I kind of feel like we've completely let the audience down because we just did not deliver in a long term game right there. It would have been that's just the players yet again really trying to aggravate us while they completely go against what we think is natural.
Oh, I know.
For their typical play style. So we're right now trying to find out the map choice here by Rebley. That was such a great play by Avalo there.
Avalo really put on a clinic there on it. If you want to get out and do some early damage with Hellions, that's how you do it. Don't even worry about engaging the bulk of the army. Get into the worker line, cripple his economy, and then you can ride that to a victory at pretty much any time you want. If you can get a 20 harvester advantage at the 8, 9, 10 minute mark, you're gonna win so long as you don't screw the pooch. And Avilo doing quite a good job of staying steady after that and riding himself to that victory. So only one win away from advancing to our final four is Avalo.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. That was so wow. I'm still kind of blown away at the speed at which Avalo played.
Right.
So, but now we're going to be actually going into a little bit more of a different lineup here. We're actually going to see some of Mama's Milk right now. We're actually going to go into MLG Metalopolis of all things. AC. This is going to be so interesting.
Oh yeah, Metalopolis, and for those who wonder why we call these maps Mama's Milk, Red Mage and I'll go ahead and pop this up again. We do 20 events a month, literally 4 or 5 events every week, and without a doubt, 80 to 90%. Anytime we're in a best of 3 and loser picks the next map, it's always going to be the Xel'Naga Caverns or always going to be Metalopolis. One of those two maps, at least 90% of the time. So we always joke, it's like your grandmother's biscuits and gravy in the morning, like your mama's milk. It's just a nice coming home kind of a feeling anytime you get to match up on a map like Metalopolis or Xel'Naga Caverns, maps that everyone is very, very familiar with, and maps that everyone tends to like and feel comfortable on. So, going to be Metalopolis, the MLG version, so going to be close air or cross-spawn positions guaranteed. This is, of course, the IG Cup number 7, brought to you by itsGhosty.com, brought to you as well by Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, and Max Integration, and these jerks are going to change their color on me. Oh, what jerks. Now I got to try and do this as slick as I can. Why am I the only guy who rolls the same color every time? It's all right. I beat him. How you like that? How you like that, guys? Yeah.
Did you get it before they
it
got in there?
Oh, yeah. Check this out. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's good stuff. Even got him right. I was worried I was going to put red on the wrong player, but I didn't. So, Avalo, leading the series 1-0, going to be spawning over in that right, roughly 2 o'clock position, and cross-map from him. Rebley, who was really on the bad end of some very aggressive Hellion play in Game 1, spawning in the blue over roughly that 8 or 9 o'clock position, depending on how you want to clock it. So, and given, and I think Avalo is really going to make us look stupid, Red Mage. It's like, it seems like this is not a map that is, you can if you want to do it, but really it's not the most effective way to play is to do those gigantic siege lines. I mean, you've got a lot of narrow corridors, almost every attack path on Metalopolis, very, very narrow. But this is a smaller map, so it's very difficult to especially in a TVT, to out-tank your opponent on a map that's already very small. It kind of reminds me of a game, I think it was between Roxas Braddock and Mouse Morrow a long time ago, like way, way, way back, like when the game had only been out about a month or two. And they actually cut this map in half, quite literally. Each took all the bases on their side of the map, and the game went for like 2.5, 3 hours. Every base was mined out, and that's about the only way you can really do that crazy siege expand style that Avalo is so well known for.
Oh yeah, because it's just, it's actually funny watching him play live. At Cybergrounds so many times that I have. It's funny because he always kind of favors the computers toward the middle of the packs.
Right.
So everybody wants to crowd around and watch. So you better not have to go to the bathroom, get a soda, go outside for a smoke, or do anything, because you're just not going to get through that crowd whatsoever. Right. And it's always kind of cool because you're always like, that's really the first time I ever got introduced to who Avalo actually was. I was like, well, why is everyone watching him? And they're like, oh yeah, he's playing this, and then he's also doing the TSL, and it's I'm like, wow, that's really incredible. He was playing like 2 different matches at the same time. I'm like, well, that is unbelievable. It is much of a power Terran that he is, he was actually able to play in both of those events at the same time. So that was that really blew me away. That talented players could do that.
Well, we run into a lot of that, and it can be quite annoying. By the way, all you pro-level players, don't do that. Don't double book yourself. That's so damn annoying, because then you make us wait, or then you drop out and screws up our brackets or what have you. Avalo going to be extremely safe now, going to drop that supply depot back in the between the smokestacks there. So playing very, as is his style, very steady. The factory and that second gas going down right on time together. And Rebley, I mean, really, Rebley's a great player in his own right. We've seen him do so well in a lot of our events, but he's got to feel after that last match, if he's going to try and do a mirror build, which is exactly what he's doing. If you look at the production tab, it's almost absurd how close both of these players are in their builds to each other. But, Avalo pretty much just did what Rebley was doing, but he did it better. So if you're Rebley in this case, you kind of got to be thinking, okay, I can't just do the Avalo style of play. Otherwise, he's going to punish me for it, because this is what he does practically for a living.
Yeah, and you're darn right, and that's exactly what got him into VT and the NASL and things like that. His play style is, although frustrating from a caster standpoint, from a Terran standpoint, it's definitely the thing of fanboy awe, because you just see all these tanks and all this mech and these marine balls, and just throwing down like missile turrets like in a huge line, like almost like a sonar net, like you're gonna catch the Red October or something. It's absolutely ridiculous where stuff is. Oh, by the way, you guys never did give us movies that we were supposed to reference besides Thor and the Fast Five. You can't put you got to put old movies in there, stuff that AC and I have seen.
Yeah, movies that came out before 2005. There we go. That'll work.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, movies before 2005 to test our broad.
That do not in any way involve Vin Diesel, unless it's pitch black. Then we can do okay.
Which was actually pretty good. Although I didn't mind the sequel too much.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah, Escape from Butcher Bay, because I did like the. Oh my! It's not good, but
it's just not bad, right?
It's not bad. It's not terrible, but it does of course have Vin Diesel.
Well, the way to put it is, it's like you don't hate it. That's the response. Like, oh, what'd you think of it? I didn't hate it. It's one of those kind of movies. Kind of a good time killer. But Avalo does have the Blue Flame upgrade now on these Hellions, starting to get a little bit active with them. SCV scouting around the north side of the alleyways here, and this Marine getting active, going on patrol to make sure that Rebley's unable to hide a base. SCV getting kind of brave, going to rush himself up and get murdered by these Marines, but going to get an idea of exactly what his opponent's up to. Probably got to look at that starport and may have even seen that command center. In fact, I'm going to find out really quickly. Did Avalo see it? He did see the command center. Yes, he saw all of that. He saw the starport and the command center. So going to be well aware of his opponent's intentions to expand, and immediately going to drop down an expansion of his own. Great reaction there by Avalo. Raven on the way now.
Nice Banshee harass right now. He did wipe out the Rebley did wipe out the SCV that was building the expansion for Avalo, and now it's making its way over to the mineral line, but unfortunately those Marines are going to catch it, and it's being nicely moved back and forth.
A little miss micro there, though. That Banshee taking a bit more damage than it should have. And it's so hard to get that timing just down. If you do it just right, you can, do what he did right there. Oh, now the auto turret going to go down to help defense. The Banshee staying active, if nothing else, delaying this expansion of Avalo. So Rebley really reacting to his kind of one-sided loss in that first matchup, instead saying, you know what, I'm going to get out and be active. And you like Hellions? Fine, I like Banshees more.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be one of those now we're gonna be into a cage fight right now, because you know Avalo does not like the fact that he had to cancel that building and is now having to build it into his base, so it's gonna kind of mess up his city-like construction here. So at this time he's like, I'm gonna get in the ring, and right about now is when you need a montage.
More harassment here out of Rebley, moving in, gonna target down the SCV's building that. Viking out now, though, with that Raven. They give that spotting distance. The Viking range so far able to take out one of those Banshees. Quite a expensive loss there early in the mid-game. If you invest in Banshees early, you really got to do what you can to keep them alive. They're so expensive, not to mention the tech path you have to go up to get them. So Rebly, though, despite losing that Banshee and a little bit of miss micro, still able to get up his expansion relatively safely. So at least for the moment, going to be taking an economic lead over Avalo.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. And going back to there, yes, unfortunately, Dark, we did find out that it is Avalo, not Avilo. We did find out from a very reliable source that it is Avalo.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah. I'm just gonna use reliable source. I'm not gonna throw it out there like
She's
that.
She's slooping the player, man. That's how we found out.
So we're definitely seeing a lot of mixing and action here, almost like a shell game here with Avalo as he did tech switch a couple of those buildings. He did move that starport back a little bit, put that factory on there. He is going to start his tank production as he likes to do after he gets several more Hellions, using the barracks as a scouting technique right there.
Oh yeah, may as well. He's not planning to make
right
out
there.
of it.
Oh yeah, because he's not going to do anything. Rebly throwing down that third expansion right now, going to that 11 o'clock right there, not taking the gold, instead taking the more defensible position.
Well, see,
back a little bit farther.
It's easy to say that. It feels safer, but really, it seems like the more I play on this map... Oh, we do have a drop here. The Hellions moving in, going to absolute town on the SCVs, and more action. Avalo's so good at this. And I see a lot of dead SCV parts. Don't know the exact count, but have probably had to have been 10 to 15 SCVs at the very, very least. Yeah, we see now Rebly behind 9 workers despite having his second base up that long, so probably even more than that, maybe up into the double figures.
Yeah, it looks like Avalo so far has killed 22 of Rebly's workers.
Wow.
So absolutely butchering the other lineup. I don't want to call it as bad as the last game, but very, very close. Rebly doing a great job here. He's moving that army of his current army size around through that third, coming down the long way to Avalo's base. Of course, he's going to get this spotted momentarily as this one Marine is going to make its way over, and he's going to spot the whole thing and start pulling a lot of things back. Avalo right now getting those siege tanks up on the high ground.
Oh, got a
He's going to start
siege
shelling
up
these
there.
things momentarily. Oh my goodness. This is going to be absolutely terrible because he does, of course, have the Viking and the Raven to grant lots and lots of vision. Rebly having to take more and more paths to try and get into a good position. A couple of those tanks down into the one of those tanks down to the red. Another one now into the red, about ready to get destroyed. Oh my goodness, so much destruction.
Marines moving in here now, and really this is kind of a positional battle. Out of Avalo. Avalo is going to have to maintain good position. Going to lose that Viking though. Now we see the point defense drone out of that Raven. The tanks coming under heavy fire. That Raven doing more than an adequate job to keep Rebly back away. Still shelling away at that refinery. I don't know what came of it, but I did see Avalo load up a dropship. Looks like, no, not seeing it anywhere at the moment. May have already dropped them. Don't know if he was able to pick anything off. He loaded up 3 Hellions into that dropship. So, Rebly's forces here going to be cleaned up now down to just the Banshees and the Bio Ball. And that third just now completing. So, that third was delayed quite a bit by a little bit of Hellion harass. So, Avalo continuing to look very, very strong, even though both players are roughly in that same supply category, at 95 to 99 now with Rebly slightly in the lead. Avalo just seems so steady, as always. He seems like he's been under threat a little bit, but more than anything, he's dealt more damage than he's taken, and that's really how he loves to play this game.
Oh yeah, now he's taking that other main directly across from his main. His natural main, I guess I should say. So he is definitely looking to expand onto the map as much as possible. Rebly is now moving a ton of units down into the main directly across from his main.
6 o'clock position.
The 6 o'clock position. The 6 o'clock main. The other main, not Bangor main, but the 6 o'clock main.
Hellions moving in now, going to be spotted by this Planetary Fortress. The Planetary Fortress going to shut this down. Not a whole lot for him to kill here either. Maybe pick off a couple of these mules, and you can't really understate the value of mules. Every mule that dies is 270 minerals in mining time lost. Now Avalo just going to hang back. Banshee on its way over now. Going to rush the Marines in to try and deal with this. Banshee would have been quite enough to ward that off. And You know, Avalo, this is more the game we expect out of Avalo. He harasses a little bit, but we have not seen. Look at this gigantic siege tank number he has. You know, up to 10 tanks now with a Thor and a Raven and a Banshee or two to support, and he's yet to do anything with them except defend, and that's really kind of his style.
Oh yeah, now Rebel right now did just find Avalo's third base right now, as that fourth one is getting ready to be built and probably placed at that 5 o'clock position. So that one Hero Marine spotted it and has scared it away as it floats back over, and it is going to take out a mule and probably another SCV right there and ward them from getting any more of those little minerals right there. But Avalo, moving in his massive tank line, is about ready to
Gonna get caught out of position, though. The Marine's gonna be able to get close. Those tank numbers just so large, though. 1 or 2 rounds of this, and that's gonna clean up Rebel without a doubt. The Medivacs being forced back now by that Viking and by that Thor. So many tanks here for Avalo, taking the gold on his opponent's side of the base. And now is where Avalo really gets aggressive, but it's a very passive-aggressive style. He's going to siege up here and gradually begin creeping ahead these siege tanks and using that mech to just control his opponent's attack paths, to control the map, and pretty much control what his opponent can and can't do.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. And, of course, that whole time he's going to have that one Viking, that one Banshee, that one Raven, granting him so much vision all over the board that he's going to be able to defend pretty well. Plus, he's got that one floating barracks there right directly in the center of the entire map. He's throwing down sensor towers absolutely everywhere. Offensive, defensive sensor towers really are absolutely just one of my favorite things in the world. Just because they show your opponent that, hey, I'm moving this closer and closer to you. So at some point, I'm just going to have your entire facility.
Oh, Red Mage, that entire army of Rebel is loaded up in dropships and moving along the top side of the map right now, going right past that 12 o'clock position. And Avalo
he needs to move it up. Oh no! Oh, it's gonna give him way too much time. He really should have pushed it to the farther edges of that tower.
Here we go. Gonna be dropping now right on top of the production facilities. Looks like he's not gonna lose any of these medevacs, at least not right off. This is really gonna cripple Avalo. Avalo forced to float everything. There's the stem out of Rebel. Rebel chasing all this down, shutting down production almost entirely now out of Avalo. And really going to work here on the supply depots. Avalo, though, looks like he's just going to base trade, says, you know what, you can have it. I'm going to push your natural and shut yours down just as much. So all these tanks being sieged up now as Rebel continues to push on down into the natural and shut down production there. But Avalo really looks to be on the winning side of this if and when the armies do clash after the base trade. Because, eventually these armies are going to have to meet up. But with this high tank number and with that Thor there to support, I don't know that Rebel's composition can do anything against a tank count this high.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Even at 161 supply to 101, I think Avalo is really still ahead. The only reason why he's not building is because everything's up in the air at this point, with the exclusion of a couple of small buildings. One of them, of course, being a starport. He did manage to finish that construction, put a tech lab on it. One of these factories is burning down. It's down to 110, so he should have plenty of time to move an SCV over there to really repair it and get
right
it
now,
back up into tip-top shape.
Avalo is only mining from one spot. That's the gold. That's going to be enough to carry him through for the moment. But we do see, without a doubt, now going to lose that third command center. So the only command centers left on the map for Avalo are going to be the one in his main, which has no minerals left, and that at the gold. So the gold's going to keep him alive for a little while. But Rebel, really right now, it's going to have to come down to if Rebel is able to make decisions the way he needs to make decisions. He needs to know that if he counterattacks right now, he's going to die without a doubt. He doesn't have the personnel. He's only got really Marines and medevacs. But if he can hold back and use that remaining 40 supply to go ahead and tack on some Marauders into his mix, he really has a chance to shut Avalo out and pull this series even 1-1.
Oh yeah. Now, unfortunately, Rebel did try to build a command center up here in that main right about the 1 o'clock. Spotted that of Avalo did put in 2 starports, and unfortunately, he hasn't canceled that command center. It was getting picked off a little bit by some Banshees and some Hellions, but it looks like they have joined the front at Avalo's pushing position here. This is just absolutely brutal for
Avalo.
both of them, really.
Avalo kind of on a
supply.
Oh yeah, Avalo kind of on a clock right now, losing all of his supply depots. That really the biggest loss out of losing that main base. He's not going to be able to produce. He's got tons and tons of minerals coming into him constantly out of these gold minerals, but those are only going to last so long. His unit producing structure's out of commission. He's having to rebuild supply depots as much as he can. He's got 2 starports full of Banshees. Now he's going to go ahead and push, and this is what he needs to do. If he just hangs back and tries to stay safe without any way to produce and catch up, Rebly's going to be able to get a better mix. So really it comes down to how good a decision Rebly can make as to when is the time to attack, and how he wants to approach this. And at this point, Avalo looks very safe, at least for the moment, but not going to be that way for long. Rebly kind of in a commanding lead here at an 80 supply deficit, or at an 80 supply lead, I should say.
Oh yeah, and Avalo absolutely refusing to give up, even though he's losing he just lost those 2 starports over there. Rebly did take over that 1 o'clock expansion finally, and he building something else down there at the 5, or 7. Well, 6:45ish. We'll call it 6:45, 7ish. But yeah, you just see all these supply depots in that gold area. That is not a very big area to be building supply depots in. But he managed to get himself back up on the supply, back up to 107. He's up to 93 out of 107. Still building more and more stuff.
Rebly beginning to push in now, pushing in from the south side where there are no tanks, or maybe he just ran past the gold. No idea what he's doing there. Now maybe gonna. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know. He had a perfect opportunity. Now he's not going to have a good opportunity, because now Avilo's going to start moving tanks over there. This is he had a perfect opportunity there to get in there, and at the very least he could drop right into the. Well, he can't drop now because there are those 3 tanks all sieged up on the center of the gold, so they could hit absolutely everything. But at some point, Avilo, see, I told you I was going to do it. Avalo is going to be completely mined out of that gold here in just a few moments, really, because and luckily he did build that other command center, but he's going to have to find some place to go. He just moved. Oh my goodness, he just moved an SCV directly between Rebly's 2 building command centers here at the 1 o'clock, and threw it down in the mineral line. So
more importantly, he took down that 3rd expansion there of Rebly. That planetary fortress came under siege fire, and Rebly slow to react, and Rebly really making some bad decisions here, rushing now with the SCVs and the Marines. No idea what he's up to here and why he's deciding that this is how he wants to make his stand. He had a pretty commanding lead. All he had to do was exercise map control. Doing some pretty good damage here, though, so actually managing to take out, now going to rush in the bulk of his Marine force and clean up what looked like to be most of those tanks, but still plenty left here in the gold of Avalo. So really, I mean, this is just a messy game, man. I mean, beginning to end, this has just been messy play, but exciting and amazing play at the same time.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely epic, right here, because it's the Avilo style, but it's like the Micro Machines version.
Right.
It's because he's having to condense it all into basically one little area, but he still maintains that ability, and that right there is the sign of a true, not really, I can't really say master, but a pro.
Right.
At doing it, and as you see. Rebly still has those 2 unfinished command centers right there, and Avilo. See, I was going to do it again. Avalo still just finished his command center, and all he needs to do now is he's got that 1 waiting SCV there. Maybe just have it mined, do something. It can carry stuff on its own. It's a big boy. It can mine on its own.
Well, it's kind of sad in its own way. Yeah, put him in gas, build a refinery, put him in gas. But, all right, here we go. Going to be a big push now out of Rebly. Going to try and force the issue right now. Not liking this decision at all. The tank number's just too high, supported with those Blue Flame Hellions. That's a lot of medevacs, though. All the Marines are already dead, and Rebly has just thrown away almost his entire force down to just a handful of Marines and 2 tanks at this point, trying to use those medevacs to spot. But the Hellion's going to move in, get it down to 1 tank. But Avalo still kind of on a clock, and can you imagine this? 30 minutes into the game, it's currently 29 supply to 52, and there's no way to tell who should be winning.
Yeah, and that is the absolute weirdest thing. Usually by now there's such a clear difference of
he's going to drop the Marines. He's got the Marines and the medevacs. He's going to drop them right on top of the sieged up tanks and force them to no, he's not. Going to unload them for no good reason right in the middle of their line of fire. Whatever. It looked like he was going to do something brilliant there, but Avallo's somehow staying safe. He does have another command center now at the other third expansion, and he does have one guy in gas and a couple mining up at that 12 o'clock position. So Rebley, he had a gigantic lead, almost 80-90 supply at one point, now down to just 45 to 31, and as frail of both of these players look, I can't tell who's going to come out on top.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Avallo right now taking that other gold right now with his expansion. He's finally getting mining up in that 1 o'clock position, and Rebley just now got somebody actually moving right there at the 5 o'clock expansion. So he's finally getting his affairs in order right now, trying to get more SCVs all over the place so he can continue to make units that just more or less throw into the meat grinder here.
The war zone here at this gold is just absurd. I mean, every time I pull the camera back to it, there's something dying every single time.
Right now you see those Vikings trying to take those medevacs out. Oh, Avallo throwing them away wastedly to those. That is not a fantastic move, but we see Avallo is starting to build in the streets. He's making his own private block party as he's just... he's moving more and more units in there and moving more and more facilities.
Hey, bro, I put a base in the middle of the map. How you like that? That's my main now.
That's right. Boom.
It's like, yeah, I spawned in the middle of the map as my main. How you like that? I believe it or not, Rebley actually has not spotted this top 12 o'clock position by Avallo. Even though by now he's got to have a clue. I mean, he's seen SCVs run up there now, and now a Hellion moving down. So, I mean, if he's paying attention at all, but I'm not paying attention. There's the GG from Avallo, and as we were jawing about that base, Rebley able to move in and I guess finally secure things down at that middle gold expansion. So, going to be tied 1-1 in this best-of-3 series between VT Avallo and Rebley. IG Cup number 7 brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. What a great matchup right there. As we try to find out what map is Avallo possibly going to ask for it, because this is going to be absolutely ridiculous, I think.
Oh yeah, Avallo got to be coming away from that with a bit of a sour taste in his mouth. He seemed to be quite in the lead. I mean, Rebley was up in terms of supply. He had his expansion up faster, but Avallo seemed to be very stable and ready to arc his way towards that standard siege push we know so well from him, but got a little bit greedy. I mean, that's really the only way to put it, moving out to the gold expansion on his opponent's side of the base, and it ended up costing him the match entirely.
Oh yeah, and he stuck right to his play style though all the way through, regardless if he was on one base or the 5 bases that he was hoping to take early on. It's just absolutely amazing.